Hello, CCL Sports Cards fans. What is up? How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of Who's Hot and Who's Not in the world of minor league baseball. Now, I must say it's an absolute pleasure to host this show, and I'm so grateful to speak to an audience that continues to grow daily. Now, I know some disagree with me, but to me, there is no denying that the sports card market as a whole continues to drift down for a lot of players and their cards, whether it's the GOATs or prospects. While there are exceptions to this, for the most part, I can safely say it is choppy and uncomfortable for even me to own some of my cards at these prices. And a lot of them I won't sell right now, and I'll just wait for the market to rebound. Whether that's this year, next year, or even the year after that or the year after that. I'll just wait. But I do want to highlight that it is important to remain engaged as prices get cheaper and nibble if you have the disposable funds. Personally, yes, it stinks for my cards to be worth less on the whole day to day. But what I really enjoy is paying less for cards of players I like. Not to mention that as prices come in, it may allow for newer, maybe younger entrants to be part of the hobby once again, or for the first time. But let's get to the reason you're all here, talking prospects. Who is hitting everything in sight, as well as highlighting who is struggling and where there may be opportunities in either case. As a reminder, to qualify for the top 5 on the hot list, you had to have had at least 18 at-bats, be 24 years old or younger, and have a first Bowman auto, as this is the brand most talked about on this platform. Ready? Here we go! Coming in at number 5, Jordan Walker, currently playing third base in AA for the Springfield Cardinals. Last week, Mr. Walker hit .435 with 2 doubles, 3 triples, 2 home runs, and 3 runs batted in. Jordan just turned 20, and there is no secret here. He is one of the most sought-after prospects in 2020 Bowman Draft and costs a premium for a litany of reasons, and he will be on the hot list more often than not. And his season stats last year and this year reflect that. The last recorded sale of Jordan Walker's 2020 Bowman Draft Chrome Auto and PSA 10 was on May the 1st of 2022, when it sold for $1,353. There really isn't much for sale right now as it refers to this card, and the ones that are for sale are nearly double that price. However, as expensive as Jordan is, keep in mind that Jordan Walker does not have refractor autos, and while I can't prove this, I feel his base autos are short printed, and scarcity leads to a heavier price tag. Coming in at number 4, Jordan Diaz, currently 21 years old, playing third base for the AA Midland Rockhounds. Last week, Jordan hit .407 with 2 doubles, 3 home runs, and 7 runs batted in. This is Diaz's second stint on my hot list, and he has put together a very nice season, and continues to be unappreciated in my opinion. And while part of that, in general, could be like the market's softness, at least as it relates to baseball cards, I say he's unappreciated because he's 21 at AA, and yes, he will be 22 in August, but you can pick up his 2021 first Bowman Chrome Auto in raw condition for $15. It sold there twice over the past couple of days, and this is half of what he cost just a few weeks back when I talked about him last. Recently, I joked with my colleague, Andy at Chrome Prospects, who is on Instagram if you want to give him a follow, that when a fella is half priced like this and he's doing this well, I feel like that kind of makes the kid twice as talented, and I like him twice as much. Come on, $15? I say take a look. What's your potential downside? Always think of that. $15? Not hundreds as it relates to other prospects who aren't doing nearly as well and cost 10x. Then there's number 3, Thomas Sejis of the Texas Rangers. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Currently playing in High A for the Hickory Crawdads. This dude may be the most unappreciated prospect from 2020 draft. And I will reiterate that the Rangers were loaded in that product. Thomas is just 20 until next April. He's a ranked prospect at number 24 for the Rangers on MLB.com. Last week, Thomas hit an amazing .455 with 1 double, 2 home runs, and a very nice 8 runs batted in. He also walked once and struck out 5 times. Folks, this kid is 20. I'll say that again, just 20. Last season, Sejis hit 10 home runs and had no PS of .835 at the age of 19. And to give you an idea of how cheap this kid's cards are, his 2020 Bowman Draft Gold Wave Auto and BGS 95 True Gem Plus, narrowly missing pristine by a half point, sold for $110 on Sunday. That is crazy. Then there is number 2 this week, Gunnar Henderson, who was playing in AA for the Bowie Bay Sox up into and including last week, but was promoted to the Norfolk Tides in AAA with Channel fave Jordan Westburg. Congrats, fellas. Last week, Gunnar hit an amazing .476 with 3 doubles, a triple, and a home run and 7 runs batted in. Again, given all the above, the secret is out and his cards are getting more expensive. His 2019 Bowman Draft Chrome Base Auto and Raw Condition will cost you $125. And while that's not crazy for a 20-year-old in AAA, I think last year when he was 19 and no one cared and folks were focused on 21 Bowman or 21 Chrome was a better time to pull the trigger on him, which is what I try to highlight on this channel. Opportunities. Which brings me to number 1 this week. Drumroll. Colin Barber, 21, currently playing for the Asheville Tourists and High A in the Astros organization. Last week, Colin hit .524 with 5 home runs, 9 RBIs, adding 3 walks for good measure. What a week! Currently, Barber's 2020 Bowman Chrome Auto and PSA 10 will cost you about $75. And while being 21 is kind of average for High A, a promotion to AA is not out of the cards with more weeks like that one. That brings us to the not-so-hot players in minor league baseball for the weekend of June 5th, 2022. To reiterate, making the cold list does not mean the player is trash. In fact, quite the contrary. Oftentimes it will highlight ranked prospects who were yesterday's market darlings and, like any of us in life, from time to time will struggle, providing you with a chance to pick up these players at discounted prices. Ready? Let's ride! Number 5, 23-year-old Sean Roby, currently playing in AA for the Richmond Flying Squirrels. It was a rough week for Roby, where he hit just .053 going 1 for 19, although he did homer and drive in 3. That's something. There is no denying that this kid has some good pop, and that last hit was actually a home run and his 13th of the season. But the fact that he's in 23 and he's 23 years old and it's in AA, collectors are somewhat uninspired. And you can pick up his 2021 Bowman Chrome Auto and Raw Condition for just $5. Then there is Pedro Pineda, who is having a rough season for the Low A Stockton Ports, and last week was no exception for the 18-year-old, once market darling. Over the last 7 days, Pedro went 1 for 16 with 3 walks and 12 Ks. His 2021 Bowman Chrome Base Auto and Raw Condition will cost you about $35, and it was once nearly double that price. Pedro is just 18, which is very, very young, and if his cards get a little less expensive, it may be worth a shot in the dark. And there's a lot of time for him to learn and potentially get better, so keep that in mind. Number 3 is Alex Bonellis, 22 years old, playing for the High A Greenville Drive in the Boston organization. This is Alex's second stint on the cold list, and it was another rough week for the young man, going just 1 for 18 and hitting just .056, although his one hit was also a home run, and he did manage 3 walks. His 2021 Bowman Draft Chrome Auto in Raw Condition will cost you about $35, which has kind of drifted down from the $40 it was just a few weeks ago when I highlighted him last. Then there's number 2, 19-year-old Evan Carter, currently playing in High A for the Hickory Crawdads. Last week, Carter went 1 for 16, hitting an awful .063, although he did notch an RBI and a pair of walks. It was still a very bad week. But I still really like this kid, and you can pick up his 2020 Bowman Draft Base Auto in Raw Condition for $50. Not bad. Lastly, and topping the cold list this week is young Phenom Jay Allen II. He is still only 19 and is currently playing for the Daytona Tortugas in Low A. Last week, Allen went 2 for 17, hitting just $118, but managing 2 walks, but he did strike out 7 times. And he also added 2 steals to his resume. Allen's 2021 Bowman Draft Chrome Auto in Raw Condition is selling for about $65. That's not bad for a kid who's 19, but he is in Low A. And I do like Jay Allen. I liked him coming out of the draft, but I own none of his cards yet and will take a wait-and-see approach as it has been for the last little while. And that's it. That's all, folks. Tell me in the comments below, which players are you targeting as the market drifts down? It could be stars. It could be prospects. Let me know. I love hearing from you and very much appreciate the time you choose to spend watching my show. Do keep in mind that anything I say on this channel is strictly my opinion and should be taken as such. You all have an absolutely amazing week.